chosen ones, empaths, you are the one supply the narcissist never forgets. You got to understand, I'm not talking about how they're making you feel. The silent treatment, the ghosting, the abandonment. I want you to look at what you've done for them. The reason probably why it hurts you so much is because you were the one person that come along in their life and helped build them up. Speak to many people in sessions and same theme. And it's the savior empath within you. You look to save people. You look to help people. You look to assist people. Now, I want you to understand, I've said this in a recent video as well, but the very people that you help end up being the ones that step on you. Okay? And someone put in the comment section, if I can remember it rightly, they said you buy someone's shoes and they'll walk over you or something like that. Please put it in there again because it was a good quote that they said. It was better than what I've just expressed there. They said it in quite a good way. Anyway, back to the point. What I'm saying is at the start, at the initial heat of the moment kind of shit that goes on, they ain't seeing your worth. They ain't seeing your value. And this is why some of you don't understand. But when you fall back and when they've got something to compare you to, so the inevitable reevaluation or the re-idolization, okay, this is an important video, please stick around, has to take place by them having something to compare you to. If you're in their life endlessly giving, supporting them, the narcissist is unappreciative at nature, right? So they're not gonna, although they can see you're different if you're around them all the time, it's only once you're gone, and that can be them going in their own direction, discarding you, ghosting you, abandoning you, then they realize, you see. But when they're in the position of realizing this, they don't want you to know that. They really don't want you to know that. But they're wrestling with their own minds. This is why they're haunted by you. Because everywhere they turn, they see lack in people of things that you did. Now, you don't have to be the richest person in the world, the most handsome or beautiful or whatever, right? It's all to do with your selflessness and your energy. Because what they did to you was they got you subserviently working towards their own agenda. That's what they got you doing. Okay? They got you working for their cause and not your own. And the main thing that you're finding difficult now, all right, I believe, if I'm wrong, put it in the comment section. But I think it's because you invested so much in these individuals and there was no return. You didn't get the happy ever after. You didn't get the grow old together if this was a romantic relationship. You didn't get that good friend or romantic colleague or associate or whatever. Like they double crossed you or it backfired, right? So, but what I need you to understand as you didn't give this stuff or help them or even give them money sometimes. I've heard of financial abuse that happens in narcissistic relationships. I've heard that frequently in session. But you could have given them so much and your time and your dedication and your devotion. And they ended up just stepping on you. All right? But those very things come to play further down the line. The main reason I need to emphasize this more is because they think the reason they got you to behave accordingly and you were such a potent supply source was because they made you into one. That's what they all think. All narcissists think, I'll get what I want. I'll bully my way around. I'll lie, I'll cheat, I'll steal. This is what narcissists think, right? But let me tell you, when they get back out there, right? When they get back out there, then they realize that they can't manipulate a dusty new supply, right, into being like you or do better than you. So what they tend to do is wrestle with this in their minds for a lifetime. Some narcissists are so stubborn, they can never let you know their worth. They always have to feel like they're winning, okay? And what I'm saying is they feel like they're winning a lot of the times, right? Not a lot of the times, but these times when this is going on, because they're thinking, right, yes, I'm putting them through silent treatment. I'm a narcissist. I'm putting them through silent treatment, right? And they stick to that. But still, in their life, they find difficulty because they're running into people at work, their friends, their minions, and people ain't doing the same things that you did, all right? You make a house a home. The empath makes a house a home. The empath has so much energy. The chosen one has so much energy that you really do brighten people's world up. Some people are off the topic now. Some people get irritated by you. Some people get triggered by you. Some people, and this is part of the reason why the narcissist got so vengeful as well, which I discussed in many videos, right? They get very vengeful because of the narcissistic injuries, because you help build them up. Then they're thinking, oh, this is what you do. This is all you are. So they use you as a means, which is actually their bitter end, okay? They use you as a means to get forward, and it actually backfires on them. So if you can all, because I did digress slightly, if you can all realize that you will receive reward in this world, all right? This is not, I'm not talking, well, you can look at it religiously, spiritually, whatever, right? I'm talking about, or karma, you can look at it anyway. You will see things that you've done to fakes and snakes and toxic individuals way back, right? It could have been going back to school days, right? You'll see something come into fruition into your world as a result of that, I believe. Because this is very deep now, what I'm saying, okay? Everything is intention. And the empath's intention are pure. If the empath gets an intrusive thought that goes against their morals and principles, it makes them feel very uncomfortable. Okay? The chosen one, the empath, if they get an intrusive thought, it makes them feel very, very, very uncomfortable. Because you are pure, the purest form, I believe, in this world. And your intentions are straight. You had no agendas, you had no motives, but the thing that you've woken up to now is people do have agendas. People do have motives. All right. One of the main things, another thing, I just need to, look, this is an important video. Some of the self-reflection that you have when you look at yourself in a bad light has been put on you. I'm not talking about the narcissist now. It could be anyone. This could be going back to any time in your life. Okay. Is actually the projection of another human onto you. People come to the empath and project their own feelings of inadequacy, their own, what's the right word I can use? Bear with me. What's the word? Their insecurities, right? They project their own insecurities and everything onto the empath. And the empath picks up on this energy, which is what a projection is. They're projecting their energy that they feel onto you, right? And then that makes you feel less about yourself, okay? So what I'm saying is, dig deep into this, beneath the veil. Think what your impact you made to people. I'm not talking about how they responded to it, how they treat it. I'm talking about the energetic. You put energy and effort into something, there's a byproduct, and they've got a result of that. It helped build them up. It helped put them on a platform. It helped them level up, right? And you stayed the same. You've done it selflessly. But this creates a very, very intense feeling, especially for energy vampires, narcissists, sociopaths, psychopaths, because you're really the ultimate person. But what really is difficult for them, and this is another reason why they'll never forget you, is because when these returns start coming back to you, okay, from good intentions that you had, because your intentions were pure, everything lines up. You like, doesn't matter that person was deceiving you. Doesn't matter that person was a phony. Your intentions were pure. That's a good deed on your behalf. And you don't have to wait till the kingdom after, right, for you to see your reward. You'll see it in this lifetime. Okay? Can be monetary. It might not be monetary. Could be something else. Could even be in person, right? So this is going to happen for you. And you'll be like, how was you ever thinking that you couldn't get through life without this narcissist or whatever? Family unit, romantic relationship, friend, whatever, right? You'll get to that place. But them on the other hand, they're in a place where they've had this intense supply from you, devotion, everything like that. So they become inquisitive. They ask questions when you don't reach out or you don't bite to the hoover. Okay? They reach out, and when you don't bite to the hoover, they get inquisitive. And a hoover is not, hello, I am the narcissist. Hello, empath. I would like, that's like if they said, I think you are the best person in the world that I've ever come across. Like, that's transparent. They're not going to say that. Okay, they're really not. They're going to do some snide shit, some dodgy shit, some weird shit. But this is an indication that you're running course on their mind and they're wrestling with you to get rid of you. They don't want to think about you. You think the narcissist wants to think about you. It's the last thing they're going to want to admit to you. But I've heard of people where the narcissist does actually say it. The narcissist it's possible. Can't rule it out. Can't say it won't happen. But I need to give you the realest advice. And most likely, narcissists are stubborn. They're selfish. So they won't admit the thing. They won't admit it. Okay? When I've heard of narcissists opening up and actually saying, like, there was someone in the comment section recently, it's just come to mind. They were saying that they see the narcissist and the narcissist was bad-mouthing the new supplier to them, and they were saying they're so much better and all of that. Now, what I'm saying is that could be a significant reason why, when they hit a downgrade, when they hit a bad person in their life, when they run into trouble, when they run into things, you becoming a prominent force in their minds that feels like comfort to them. But they don't want to feel comfortable thinking of you and what you treated them like, because that's in the past. They need supply now. So what do? All right? So, I mean, they get inquisitive. Now, they'll see you going on. This is why I need you to wait for your returns, the blessings that come. Because you're going to go on in life to something better. And not only, you see how many of you feel like you've experienced the death of a friend or a loved one or something from this narcissist. That's how it can feel like a death. They go through their own version of that, right? This is another reason why I never forget you, because you're not going to stay the same. This point that you're at now, this mindset that you're at now, many of you, I'm aware there's new viewers, so I'm trying to go back to source, right? To not basics, but like, I want you to understand you're not going to stay the same. When I talk about purpose or I do videos dedicated to purpose and meaning, sometimes people are feeling like, oh, Zan, I don't know what meaning is. I don't know what this is. I don't know what that is. Like, listen, it's about you make an impact in the job you're in your children's life. If you've got children, in people's life, you make an impact. And you've made an indentation and an impact in this narcissist's life. And yeah, they're gone now. Yeah, they've gone their own way. Yeah, they discarded you, ghosted you, abandoned you, or you've gone your own way. But still, you'll be that one person they can't forget, they can't shake, they can't get rid of out of their minds. And I want you all, like, for those of you that have had a hoover, let me just address that now. You've had a hoover. Many of you have had hoovers, you don't even realize it. Okay? They've done stuff like tried to bait you. Right? That's a hoover. A hoover is a temperament checker. Remember that. A hoover is not some declaration of love or anything like that. Okay? Hoover is a temperament checker. They're testing your temperament. So it could be as specific as them baiting you with a new supply. Okay? You seeing them with a new supply, walking, holding hands, or they post a new supply. That is a baiting, and really, they're trying to hoover you up in a way where you're desperate, you're needy, you contact them, you cry, you say, what are you doing? Oh, no. You know what I'm saying? I'm not belittling if anyone's done that, but I'm just saying that's why, and some of you have just ignored it. You've got on with your life, and that's what I'm saying. It's not giving them the fuel that they're after. That's how they're going to approach the situation. A narcissist is going to post a new supply. A narcissist is going to walk past your house with a new supply. A narcissist is going to get a new supplier to come and cause you trouble. Right? That's what the sort of things I hear in sessions from people. This is what they do. Okay? That is their version of fondness. Right? That's their version of communication. How they communicate. They communicate in spirals, man. You got to look into it, what they're saying. But don't be there at their beck and call. Right? When you interpret what's really going on, that's what you're all going to get to. And you start bettering your life. You start some of you are going to find someone better. Right? A better friend, better romantic relationship, better colleague. Have a own family of your own, and it's not a dysfunctional family unit. Whatever the case may be, this can happen as well. Right? But what I would say is don't hold on for that. Look within first. Find yourself first, like I always say. Treat yourself like a guest. Be kind to yourself. It's a serious thing, right? You can go into a deep depression after narcissistic abuse, where things like everyday tasks like getting ready or things like that can feel like a struggle. So what I would say to you is, that's why I say treat yourself like a guest. How would you treat a guest in your home? You'd be kind to them. You'd be like this. So, eat well. Sometimes people ain't sleeping. They're not eating properly. Eat well. Try to look after yourself. Try to get ready. Try to look nice. And don't compare yourself to other people. I mean, how you look nice. How you get ready, right? Even if that's just chilling, having a hot shower or a cold shower or a relaxing bath or whatever it is you do, treat yourself well, right? Treat yourself well, because I'm telling you, during the early days, and that can be months after, the narcissist's head is in the clouds. They're intoxicated with your supply still. They've hurt you. They've crushed you. They've made you desperate. They made you chase. They made you do this. Don't worry. It works in your favor. Let them run their course, right? They'll go off in their heads in the clouds. When I talk about narcissists, I've heard of narcissists hoovering after years apart. And that's what you have to understand. That person had no hoover and then they hoovered after years. And that is really, when a narcissist hoovers after years, you've got to understand they've tried to go in their own line. They've tried to make it work in their own lane. They've tried to make it work. And this is what I mean. When there's people saying in the comment section in their sessions after decades, not even just years, decades, narcissists are hoovering and doing stuff, right? That shows how much you are on their mind. And that's what I need you to understand. Okay? You're on their mind a lot. Really, you're on their mind a lot. So, just understand, you will never be forgotten. Have this as an awareness. Have this as a knowing. You won't be forgotten. It will help you. It will really, really help you. And if you can't, if you're looking at surface level stuff, right? Like, they're with a new supplier, so they're not thinking about me, or listen to what I said in the video. Go back. Listen to this again. What did I say? I said narcissists will have they only realize your worth after they've been with someone to point that's meant to be their level up. And it doesn't level up. Okay? That's meant to be their level up, the new supply. And it hasn't leveled up. They haven't. And all of the selfless things that you do are going to come back to you. All right? In God's time, I believe that you're rewarded in this world and the next. Right? Or the universe. And they're this is running this course around their minds. All right? The things you've done. They can't change these new supplies into you. They'll try and groom a new supply. Right? In a sense, what I mean by groom is they'll try and groom a new supply to behave like you. This is what they're doing. They would rather spend 6 months or a year trying to groom a new supply than come and tell you that they fucked up. Okay? That's how blunt I have to be. Alright? They would rather try and groom a new supply because they're stubborn. Remember this. They're not going to communicate their feelings transparently, authentically, have good intentions. Okay? They have an intention to try win you over. They'll try hurt you. They do things backwards. They do things satanically. They do things evilly. They do things worse. All right? If you want to get your point across, so you want someone to hear you, or you'll communicate. They communicate like fucking... I don't even want to make a comparison to an animal or something, right? I don't even want to, right? Because it's disrespect to the animal, right? It's disrespect to anything. Any comparison that I compare a narcissist to is disrespect to it. You know what I mean? But who communicates like that, right? I'm not saying you're the most transparent or truthful person in the world, but they don't know how to communicate their feelings. They would rather hurt you to try and communicate their feelings of fondness, right, for you. All right? It's very simple mindset. All right, let me say something. I don't know if this, in schools, right? In schools, when you're like primary schools and stuff, right? Okay. You know how kids communicate their feelings of affection, right? Boyfriend or a girl, like, that young stuff, right? They might chase them or do this or like they'll do some weird shit, you know what I mean? Right? I don't want to compare them to a child as pure and stuff, right? But I'm trying to say that's how simple, right, these narcissists are. Like, it's complex, but it's simple when you look beneath the veil. You can see, all right, this person's trying to do this, right? They're trying to do that. They're trying to bait you. They're trying to do this. You can see it's just their inability to communicate effectively, all right? That's what it is. So stop waiting for them to come and speak to you like a transparent, authentic person, genuine soul, empath. Like, they're not that. I know they put on a good performance to make you think they were like that, but they're certainly not that person. So you got to break that spell of who you thought they were and what they are. And that brings me to my next point. If you had developed the awareness that they can't forget you, right? And if you bring that to the awareness that they can't forget you, and you bring to the awareness in your mind that they put on a performance to be around you, they're social chameleons, all right? They're like, you see, this is the thing. Okay, these so-called experts say the empath is a people pleaser. The empath will tell you the truth, all right? These lot are people pleasers. These lot were trying to please you for a long time, but they're inconsistent. They tried their hardest to please you. They knew there was something different about you, but the more you gave, the more selfish they got. That's the way of a narcissist. Really want a response from a narcissist? Say nothing. Like, no contact. Right? Just leave them to it. Let them fester in their own minds. Let them go out there and think that they've got the new supply that's better than you and all of that. Don't let them have you under that spell. Right? they've tried for decades in some cases, right, to put on a performance to be around you. Like I always say, if they come up to you and said, "Hello, I'm a narcissist. I like to manipulate people. I like to steal and cheat." You'd be like, yo, would this person be able to hurt you really? If you knew what they was from the jump, right? You wouldn't, you'd have been like, all right, that's what I'm talking about. They're like a beg friend, right? They're like a beg friend. They really beg to be in your life, right? They might not have physically begged, but I mean, they really tried to be in your life. Please don't let that be a reflection if you chased or something like that. They knew you were going to chase. They baited you, right? But they really tried to please you. But to be consistent in that, it has to come from an authentic place, right? To really be good company around someone, it has to come from an authentic place. They haven't got the authenticity that gives them the ability to do that. So that's why it's inconsistent. That's why they got toxic. That's why they got nasty. That's why they got like this. They're also living some like in a foreign body, you know, like completely foreign. Like, if that's the right word, like something so detached from themselves, so detached. The version that you know that you maybe loved, right, is so detached from who they really are. And then they felt like they're keeping secrets, you know, all of them. Oh, they felt like they're keeping secrets. They felt like you're judging them. Because things you would say, things you would do on a daily basis, things, the way you are, your ethics, your morals, your decency, right? This made them feel like the real version of them got hurt. That's what a narcissistic injury is. And that happened so much throughout the duration of your relationship. Because you reflect back to them what they really are. Okay? You would have spoke on things and it made them reflect back on them, and it made them feel inadequate, right? Another thing is what they get to learn is if some of you felt like you were nasty or mean or something like that, right? Because that's what they can play the victim, so you think that they're nasty or mean or whatever, right? That you've been nasty or mean. This is reactive abuse. They're conscious that they knew how to wind you up. Okay? For a narcissist to discard you, ghost you, abandon you, they think they've got you worked out. Okay? This is not them they think they've got you worked out. They've got all the supply they can get from you, and they can go on and get something better. Please stop believing that they actually go on and get something better. Okay? Like, someone put in the comment section, I haven't replied to them because I need to go back to the older comments that I haven't got around to doing. But they were saying, no, Zion, like, I'm going to tell you that their life's gone on to better things. Like, when you embrace what I'm saying about a narcissist, it has the inability to even sustain happiness for prolonged periods of time like a chosen one or empath can. More prolonged period of time. Because happiness is a fluctuating emotion. But they can't stay in a state of happiness. And the things that their happiness is, they're ticked by, is not actually normal things. It's weird shit, you know, nasty, dark shit that they're actually stimulated by. Okay? So, to your eye, you might be saying, oh yeah, they're with someone new, they've got more money, they're driving in this car, they're doing this, they're doing that. And you're thinking in your head, oh, they're doing better. That's from your viewpoint. That's not from their viewpoint. Stop generalizing from your viewpoint about what you think they are. And when I'm not being rude, but I'm saying that's coming from a place of hurt, that viewpoint. That's what I'm trying to pull you out of, so you're not hurting no more. So you know it's over, so you go in your own lane, so you level up, so you say, you know what? I had good intentions. I done the best I could. This is what you say to yourself. I done the best I could. I done this. They will recognize how you are no one is in comparison to you. right? There's no one. And that's the gift that you have, because you're authentic. And if you're an empath or a chosen one that's part of a collective that we talk about, you are a unique individual on top of that, okay? On top of that, you are a unique individual, so you are different. They will never find your unique supply source ever again. And they go through this version of death like I was talking about, because you're not going to be that person anymore. You are not going to stay the same. Let me promise you now, right? Hear me out. You're not going to stay the same, okay? Trust the process that you're merging through. These thoughts, these viewpoints that you have at the moment in a place of hurt, I'm specifically talking to the newer viewers that are in a place of hurt. All of you are here as well, but I know that many of you understand, but the newer viewers maybe don't. Okay? Maybe don't understand. So please embrace what I've said, and thank you so much for listening today. I really appreciate the support. Please book a session if you'd like to. If you'd like to donate or support to the channel, you can. Check out Zion Music. I've just released Agenda EP. And a couple of weeks before I released Campaign. Okay, there's 2 recent ones that I've done. In those songs are messages or another way that I'm communicating the message of narcissistic abuse and the evil in the world. Right? So it might not be for everyone, but I'd appreciate any support that you can, or I appreciate all the support anyway, right? But please check it out if you can. I'll be back with another video soon. I've gone on a little long. Thank you for being here if you're still here. Peace.